Welcome to Trading Card Boss. We're on to round two. The Undertaker's already got through to the first round final, and we're getting on here, so we need another 32 cards. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32 cards here, separate piles. Lovely. And then we've got the coin tops on one side, that is attack, and defense is the other side, match attack side. So here we go. First flick of the coin tops. So here we go. First matchup. Trish Stratus versus King Barrett. Barrett's through, and the next one is Daniel Bryan 83 versus Zane at 75. Bryan goes through, and then we got the snooker versus Edge. Edge goes through, and then the next one is a lady matchup here. So we got Bliss versus Lynch, and Lynch goes through, and then to the next one we've got Emma versus the Mitts, and the Mitts goes through. And the next one is Stephanie McMahon versus Booker T, and Booker T gets through. And then we've got Colin Cassidy versus Graves, and Colin Cassidy goes through. And then we've got Neville versus Piper, and Piper goes through. And then we've got Amore versus Lawler, and Lawler doesn't go through, it's Amore, so Amore goes through. And then we got Trish Stratus and versus Itemi, and Itemi goes through. And then we've got Shango versus Paige, and Paige goes through. And then we've got King Barrett versus Big Boss Man, and King Barrett goes through. Next one, we got Balor versus Balor, and that isn't going to be right, is it? So we reserve one, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Steve Austin goes through. And then we got the next one, Gable versus Ryback, and Ryback goes through. And then we've got Senna versus Wyatt, and Senna goes through. And finally we got British Bulldog versus Mark Lewis, and the Bulldog goes through. So they're all out, the other ones. So into the next round. Let's give them a quick shuffle there. Quick shuffle, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. 16 cards. What are they going for? Attack or defense? So we're going for, that's a big hit there, and we're going for match attack side, which is the defense side. So this is what we're going for, defense this time, folks. And defense is Itami versus Steve Austin. So Steve Austin goes there. And then we've got Miz versus Booker T, and Miz goes through. And then we've got Edge versus Lynch, and Edge goes through. And then we've got Paige versus Barrett, and Barrett goes through. And then we've got Bulldog versus Piper, and Piper just gets through. And then we've got Barrett versus Senna, and Senna goes through. And then we've got Cassidy versus Amore, and Amore goes through. And then finally Ryback versus Bryan, and Bryan goes through. So we're down to the last few now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's, that's, and so you know it's fair. And it's attack this time. So this time we've got Amore versus Bryan, and Amore, we're looking at, yes, Amore goes, Bryan, goes through. Trying to speak too quick. And then we've got Senna versus Piper, and Senna goes through. And then we've got Edge versus Barrett, and the Edge goes through. And then we have got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Miz, and Austin goes through. On to the next round. So, toss of the coin again. tops again. So here we go. We got Edge versus this is attack. Don't forget, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Austin gets through. Getting close now, and we got Senna versus Bryan, and Senna gets through. So we're down to the last two. So we've got Senna will win on defense, and Stone Cold Steve Austin will win. Oh, sorry, they both will draw. So we'll see how we get through on this one then. So let's see how we get on. And it's attack. So we have found out that because it's a joint on attack, Senna will win on defense. So John Cena will win. He goes into the next rounds.